Number 4. What is the connection between paragraphs 4 and 5? A. Both tell about how frogs change during their life. B. Both describe how tadpoles survive by hiding. C. Both describe how tadpoles are able to live on land. And D. Both tell about how frogs are able to live in the water. And I'm going to read it one more time to make sure I know exactly what the author is asking me. What is the connection between paragraphs 4 and 5? A. Both tell about how frogs change during their life. B. Both describe how tadpoles survive by hiding. C. Both describe how tadpoles are able to live on land. And D. Both tell about how frogs are able to live in the water. Now on this one, I want you to take note that this question is asking about 2 different paragraphs. All the other questions just referred to one paragraph. So when you make a connection, you have to choose the answer that is discussed and talked about in both paragraphs. So in this particular case, you want to go back to paragraph 4 and 5. So this answer is somewhere in this chunk right here of information. So let's see what 4 and 5 have in common. If I refer back to the important facts that I underlined, I can see that paragraph 4 was talking about a frog changing to a tadpole after about a month. I can see that a tadpole slowly grows skin over its gills. I can see that it starts to develop its lungs and that it starts to grow back legs. I can see that it starts to eat bugs and plants, and that it becomes stronger and it doesn't hide as much. They hide because when you don't have a lot of strength, you can't protect yourself. But as you become stronger, you can do a much better job at defending yourself. So basically, paragraph 4 is talking about changes that a frog goes through in its early life to the adulthood. In paragraph 5, it refers to, again, when the frog is young, in this case 6 to 9 weeks old, the frog starts to develop front legs, the lungs begin working all on its own, the tadpole's mouth gets bigger, and that by the time it's 12 weeks old, the frog gets a tiny tail and will begin living on land. So this paragraph is also talking about how a frog is changing from living on water to living on land by growing front legs, back legs, a tail, and gills, or lungs instead of the gills. So let's look at your answer choices. A. Both tell how frogs change during their life. That's a possibility because it is talking about changes. B. Both describe how tadpoles survive by hiding. We're going to eliminate that because we just read that they don't have to hide much as they grow older because they get stronger. C. Both describe how tadpoles are able to live on land. This one we're going to eliminate because it is talking about earlier, if you refer back to here, it also talks about like how it's in the water and it takes time to grow the lungs. They can't live on land by themselves until they have functionable lungs. That just means their lungs can breathe for them. And D, both tell about how frogs are able to live in the water. That's a possibility because they did talk about the frog living in water. But now you have to decide which is a better answer. Which did the paragraph focus more on? It mentions it, but does it focus on it? The focus was about all the changes frogs make to transition in order to live on land versus the water. So with that, I'm going to eliminate answer D, and I believe A is my best choice.